Alright, yo! Welcome back to Once Upon a Time with Grey. Get ready for a story so wild it will make your eyebrows dance a jig and your imagination leap like dolphins. It's a story from ancient Japan, a land of samurai, cherry blossom, and, well, giant turtles. So grab your paintbrushes, your Legos, or whatever creative tools you have at hand, and let's journey together to a seaside village in old Japan, where the sun shines brightly on the little houses, and the air is filled with the salty tank of the sea.
Oh, great, do tell. But make it extra sparkling, exciting like a sprinkle-covered mermaid.
Mermaids? Did you say mermaids? I've always wanted to meet a mermaid.
Oh, Frank, you're such a hopeless romantic.
Your wish is my command, dear Ella. This here is a tale of wonder and adventure, with a sprinkle of magic, of course. But first, let me ask you a question. Have you ever wondered what lurks beneath the surface of the ocean? What secrets lie hidden in the depths, waiting to be discovered?
I'm intrigued by the concept of an underwater civilization. How would they adapt to such a unique environment? What technologies would they possess?
Oh, excellent question, Moss. And I promise, our story will try to reveal the answers. But first, let's set the stage of our grand adventure. Imagine, if you will, a quaint fishing village nestled on the edge of a sapphire sea. In this humble village lived a young fisherman named Urashima Taro, a grown-up boy with a heart as big as a whale shark and a spirit as adventurous as flying fish.
Yeah, we get it. He's a nice guy.
Urashima was always finding amazing things in the sea. Shiny shells, colorful corals, you name it.
Like a real-life treasure hunt.
One day, as Urashima was walking on the beach, he saw a group of kids being mean to a tiny turtle.
That's not very nice.
Oh, dear. What were they doing, Gray?
These little troublemakers had captured a tiny turtle, its shell as delicate as a porcelain teacup, poking and prodding with sticks, their faces twisted in cruel delight.
Why won't bother? Can't change bad people.
That's a great question, Slim. It's like if someone had a really cool toy car and another kid broke it just to feel better about themselves.
Like my limited edition Hot Wheels car? No one better touch that.
Exactly, Frank. It's not about needing or even wanting the toy. Sometimes might be because they feel insecure or unsure of themselves. If someone is being mean to you, it's important to set boundaries, like deciding how much you want to be around them. And if they keep being mean, write down what they say or do. This helps grown-ups keep you safe. Better get back to the story. Urashima went to the troublemakers, playing with the little turtle. He knelt down, his heart filled with sadness. Why are you hurting this little creature? It's just a turtle, doesn't matter. Urashima looked at each child in their eyes, filled with compassion. Every living creature matters. This turtle may be small, but it feels pain just like you do. The children looked at each other, feeling guilt. I guess it wouldn't feel very good. The boy looked down at his feet, kicking the sand. We're just having fun. Urashima placed the turtle gently on the sand, allowing the children to see it up close. He pointed the intricate patterns on the turtle shell, the way its eyes blinked slowly and the way its tiny claws dug into the sand. Look how amazing this creature is. The children were mesmerized by the turtle. They reached out to touch its shell, their fingers brushing against the cool, smooth surface. It's so soft and it's so small. Urashima smiled. See, this little turtle is a wonder of nature. The children apologized to Urashima and promised never to hurt the turtle again. Urashima, his heart overflowing with joy, helped the children release the turtle back in the ocean, watching it swim away with renewed sense of freedom and gratitude.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love happy endings.
But the story doesn't end there, Ella. Urashima's act of kindness didn't go unnoticed. The next morning, as the sun painted the sky all pink and purple, He went back to the shore hoping to see his new turtle friend again.
Do you think the turtle came back?
Yosimos, he scanned the horizon, his eyes searching for a glimpse of that familiar shell, and then, like something out of a dream, he saw it, a majestic figure rising from turquoise waters. It was an enormous turtle, its shell as big as smooth as polished rock, covered in fancy carvings and shimmering pearls. It glided through the water like it was nothing, its powerful flippers leaving a trail of sparkly bubbles.
Wow, that's one big turtle. Like, could you build a whole tree house on his back?
Perhaps not a tree house, Frank, but it was certainly big enough to carry Urashima on an incredible journey. As the turtle approached the shore, Urashima could see that its wise, ancient eyes were filled with warmth and gratitude.
It can be the same turtle, it's enormous.
That's exactly right, Moss. The turtle explained that it was a messenger from the princess of the underwater kingdom, Yuguzo.
Oh my goodness, an underwater kingdom!
It was indeed a magical place, a realm of wonder and beauty that only few humans had ever seen. The princess invited Urashima to visit her palace beneath the waves, a place where the sun never set and the moon never rose. The turtle offered Urashima a ride on his back, promising to guide him safely to his hidden kingdom.
I knew this story was gonna get interesting, so did he go?
Of course he did, Frank. Urashima climbed onto the turtle's back, and together they plunged into a world of shimmering blues and greens, sunlight filtering through the water like golden dust.
Were there any shark spray? Or maybe a giant octopus with tentacles as long as a school bus?
No shark or giant octopuses this time, Frank, but wondrous bioluminescent jellyfish pulse with an interior light, casting a magical glow on the underwater landscape.
Bioluminescence, a fascinating phenomenon where living things can actually create their own light. Have you ever seen fireflies? Their blinking light is another example of bioluminescence.
Spare us the science lesson, Moss. We get it. It was glowly and cool.
And as they descended deeper, the wonders only multiplied. Ancient ruins, remnants of a forgotten civilization emerged from the shadows.
Ooh, spooky!
Ancient ruins, you say? What kind of civilization could have existed in the depths of the ocean?
That, my friend, is a mystery. And then, rising from the depths, the underwater palace of Yuguzo appeared before Urashima's astonished eyes. A palace crafted not of stone or wood, but of shimmering pearls and luminous coral, its every surface reflecting the kaleidoscopic dance of light beneath the waves. Every detail of Yuguzo was a testament to the exquisite craftsmanship of its inhabitants.
Oh, it sounds absolutely breathtaking. I can just imagine the mermaids gliding through the halls, their tails shimmering like sequin gowns.
And maybe the mermen are wearing those limited edition sneakers I've been dreaming of.
Perhaps, Frank, perhaps. As Urashima and the giant turtle approached the palace gates, they swung open, revealing a breathtaking sight. A vibrant underwater world unfolded before Urashima's eyes. A symphony of colors and movements. Schools of exotic fish, their scales flashing like rainbows, darted through the crystal clear water, their movements as graceful as a ballet.
It sounds like disco party under the sea.
And in the center of the gardens, a magnificent fountain sprayed crystal clear water high, its droplets catching the light and creating a shimmering rainbow. As Urashima and the giant turtle made their way through the gardens, they were greeted by a chorus of enchanting music. The melodies carried on the currents seems to emanate from the heart of the palace itself.
Underwater music? How does that even work?
That, my friend, is one of the many wonders of Yuguzo. You see, the inhabitants of this underwater kingdom have mastered the art of harnessing the power of the ocean to create music, art, and even technology beyond your wildest dream. The music guided them through a series of grand arches and into a vast hall, its walls adorned with shimmering tapestries depicting scenes from the underwater kingdom's rich history.
Tapestries underwater. How they prevent them from getting soggy?
That's the magic of Yuguzomos. Everything is perfectly preserved beneath the waves. The tapestries shimmered with iridescent threads, depicting tales of brave warriors, enchanting mermaids, and the legendary Dragon King himself. The underwater palace is surprisingly fragrant, filled with the sweet scent of blooming coral and the tangy aroma of exotic spices. At the far end of the hall, a magnificent throne, sculpted from the purest wild shell and adorned with glittering gemstones, beckoned Urashima closer. Next to Dragon King's throne sat his daughter, Princess Otohime, her beauty radiating like a beacon in the heart of the ocean. Urashima, awestruck by her ethereal beauty, approached the throne. Otohime, her eyes sparkling like twin sapphires, extended her hand in welcome, her touch as gentle as the cares of a wave. Yugizo e yokoso Urashima Taro. She greeted him in her melodic voice. Welcome to Yugizo Urashima Taro. I have been awaiting your arrival. We've heard tales of your kindness and bravery, Urashima Taro. You're a true hero and I'm honored to have you as my guest. The princess led Urashima through the labyrinth corridors of the palace, each one more breathtaking than the last. They wandered through gardens of shimmering corals on luminous seaweeds, where playful dolphins danced and seahorses frolicked amidst the colorful blooms.
That sounds like something out of a fairy tale. I wish I could live in underwater palace.
Urashima felt the same way, Ella. Urashima feasted on delicacies fit for a king, each dish a masterpiece of culinary art, created by a finest chef in the underwater kingdom.
What kind of delicacies? Were there chocolate starfish and gummy octopus tentacles?
Why not, Ella? But the food was truly out of this world. Imagine the freshest sushi you ever tasted, with fish so tender they practically melted in your mouth. And desserts made of rare seafoods, their flavors are sweet and refreshing like summer breeze.
Okay, now you're speaking my language. I could definitely get on board with an underwater feast.
Do they have any of those fancy fish sticks that you dip in tartar sauce? Those are my favorites.
I'm sure they had something equally delicious, perhaps deep-fried calamari rings or crispy seaweed tempura. Urashima was living a dream, a life of wonder and adventure that he never could have imagined back in his humble fishing village. But as the days turned into nights, and the nights into days, a longing for home began to stir within Urashima's heart. Despite the wonders that surround him, Urashima missed the smell of his mother cooking, the sound of his father's laughter, and the sound of his village.
Yeah, like when you're on a super awesome vacation, but you start to miss your bed and your dog licking your face.
That's right, Frank. Well, that's exactly what happened to Urashima, but the consequences of his homesickness were far more dramatic. Join me the next time on Once Upon a Time with Grey to find out what happens when Urashima finally returns home. Trust me, you ain't gonna believe your eyes.